Dr. Dre. If money matters aren't on the level, Dre's not sticking around. Dr. Dre holds a major spot in hip-hop history, making some of the coolest albums and artists ever. But before he hit billionaire status and became a household name, he was part of NWA, a group that changed the game for gangster rap and West Coast hip-hop in the late 80s. Now, NWA might sound old school to today's young rap fans, but they were the OGs who paved the way for pretty much everyone who followed. Back in the day, they were the trailblazers. NWA got its start thanks to Eazy-E, who went from dealing drugs to starting his own label, Ruthless Records, with a hand from manager Jerry Heller. Eazy-E brought in Dr. Dre, who was already part of the world-class Wrecking Crew, and Ice Cube, repping from the rap group CIA Crew in Action, to create tunes for the label. Their first album, Straight Outta Compton, dropped in 1988 and blew up big time. It sold over 3 million copies and got serious props for its raw, edgy lyrics that took on police issues, racism, and city violence. They even came out with the hit The Police, which caught the FBI's eye. Those guys actually sent a pretty scary letter to the record distributor, Priority Records. NWA earned the nickname the world's most dangerous group and snagged a solid fan base all across the country. Behind the scenes, things were getting pretty messy among the crew and the label. Dr. Dre and Ice Cube felt like they weren't getting a fair shake when it came to their pay. They believed that Heller was using them and showing a lot of love to Eazy-E. Dre explained in an interview with Vibe back in 1996, he played the divide and conquer game. He picked one niggas to take care of instead of taking care of everybody, and that was easy. And Easy was just like, well, I'm taken care of, so f*** it. MC Ren, another NWA member, said they were stuck in regular apartments while Heller and Eazy-E were chilling in big mansions. Ice Cube even said Heller did some shady stuff, not giving him what he was owed, and Eazy-E handed over his music rights to Heller without even asking him. In '89, Ice Cube bailed out from NWA and Ruthless Records, saying no to an unfair contract. He went solo and dropped some tracks dissing his former crew. Dr. Dre hung in there with NWA for one more year, producing their second album, For Life, which rocked the charts in '91. But he was more and more unhappy with Heller's management and Eazy-E's grip on the label. He wanted to do his thing, have more say in his music, and collaborate with other artists beyond Ruthless Records like Snoop Dogg, who he had discovered. In 1991, Dre met Suge Knight, a dude with street smarts and music connections. Suge said he'd help Dre break free from Ruthless Records and create his own label. Some say Suge used not-so-nice tactics to make Heller and Eazy-E let Dre go, like threats and rough stuff. When Eazy-E wouldn't let go of Dr. Dre and the Doc, Suge Knight took it to the next level. He told Eazy-E he had kidnapped Jerry Heller and was keeping him locked in a van. But even that didn't sway Eazy-E, so Suge Knight took it a step further and got personal. He handed Eazy-E a piece of paper with Eazy's mom's address, telling him, "I know where your mama stays." Finally, Eazy-E gave in, signing the papers to let Dr. Dre and the Doc go. And that was the end of NWA as per Jerry Heller, who co-founded Ruthless Records.
Yeah.
Who's that for?
Ava.
Is she here today?
She's not here today.
Are the kids allowed to see this, or are they too young?
Well, it was, I think, weird enough for them that I played Ken anyway.
Yeah.
That I might, just hold off on them seeing the full Kenergy.
Well, they get a little bit of the glimpse of Kenergy at home.
Yeah.
They can't see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
They're a little mind. They're too young.
But they've seen a lot, pieces of it, and helped me a lot with it. They were
They think it was funny?
a huge inspiration for me.
Did they think it was funny?
Yeah, unless it wasn't, and then I worked on it.
Yeah. Oh no, that's good.
They're
Kids are a real sounding board,
brilliant
man.
comedians, so
Yeah, they're a real sounding board.
they are.
It looks like the Migos might have some explaining to do, pun intended. Since they burst onto the scene in 2008, fans have been loving their music. These guys are all about trap music with a bit of mumble rap mixed in, and that combo has really shaken up the music world and won over a big fan following. But the big surprise hit when we found out that the Migos were splitting up. Instead of the trio we knew, Offset's going solo, while Quavo and Takeoff team up as a duo. Pretty unexpected, right? People are still pretty shocked about the whole Migos breakup news, especially with Takeoff's recent passing passing in mind. Folks can't stop talking about it. Everyone's got their own ideas about why Offset, Quavo, and Takeoff went their separate ways. Some think it's because of their record label, Quality Control, while others say it's about wanting to do their own thing. Some also allege that Offset was forced to split from the group because he hooked up with Quavo's ex-girlfriend, Saweetie. Cardi B, who's married to Offset, didn't take too kindly to some mean tweets that came her husband's way. On August 24th, according to Urban Islands, someone who said they styled Nicki Minaj claimed that Offset had a thing with Saweetie, who used to date Quavo. Offset definitely Saweetie though, one tweet said. And another said, "I'm still gagging at you blatantly lying about Offset and Saweetie." Well, Cardi wasn't having it. She fired back at the troll, saying they were making up crazy stories with zero proof. She didn't mince words, telling them they were just stirring up drama and dragging female rappers into it without any real evidence. She wasn't buying it at all, and she shut down those rumors in no time. The Twitter troll wasn't done yet, and they also brought up some of Offset's past legal troubles involving drugs and weapons. But Cardi B wasn't about to stay quiet. She came back with a strong defense, saying that her man had faced a few weed and gun charges because he was no pushover. He used to hustle, not back down. She made it clear that she'd rather have a man who's been in the game than someone who takes advantage of women. She wasn't having any of the troll's attempts to rile her up, and she shut down the topic of her husband's past. As things started to cool down, Cardi had one last message for the troll, who suggested that their Twitter exchange was just a publicity stunt. She fired back, saying that she was not the one who needed to stage stunts. She pointed out that she's constantly dealing with attacks, and she doesn't need any more drama in her life. Now here comes Quavo with what seems like a hint about why the Migos broke up, and it's a bit of a mess, pun intended. In a song called Messy by Unk and Few from their debut duo project Only Built for Infinity Links, Quavo dropped a line that got people thinking. He hinted that something might have happened between Saweetie and someone close to him, which many believe is Offset. Get ready for some pettiness, because in the song Messy, fans are reading between the lines. They think Quavo might be suggesting that his ex-girlfriend Saweetie had something going on with his cousin and former bandmate Offset. In the song, Quavo dropped these lines. "I said, Carisha please, cause she too messy." Fans quickly connected this to Saweetie's appearance on Young Miami's Carisha Please podcast on Revolt. In that interview, Young Miami asked Saweetie if infidelity played a major factor in her breakup with Quavo. Quavo's lyrics seem to allude to that situation. "My dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing, not at all, and you wanted the gang, you should have just said it. We would have blessed it. You should have just said it. Now got messy." And that's when the rumor mill went into overdrive. People on social media couldn't help but speculate that Saweetie and Offset might have been involved romantically. Some fans pointed out how Quavo had previously accused Offset of not being loyal, and now these lyrics seem to be adding fuel to the fire. On the other hand, there were those who believed Quavo might just be using the rumors to create buzz around their music. In Revolt TV's Big Facts podcast, Quavo talked about important stuff like family, loyalty, and sticking together. He explained that they had hoped for a long-lasting career as a duo, driven by their upbringing, which taught them about unity. However, he acknowledged that sometimes things don't work out, and it's okay if that's the case. Sadly, Takeoff, one of the trio members, lost his life on November 1st, 2022, after being shot outside a private party in Houston, Texas. This tragedy shook up the hip-hop community and left fans grieving for his passing and remembering his contributions. Offset and Quavo took to social media to express their sorrow and love for their cousin and fellow bandmate.
I couldn't really afford Barbies when I was little. I probably had like one Barbie. So now I get to be a part of a whole Barbie moment movie, stamped in history forever. So it's dope.
So dope. It's amazing. As the OG Barb, which is, again, another iconic moment, was it an immediate yes for you?
Well, I would not with the songs, but I knew I would love to be a part of it. But there were a couple songs first I didn't. And then I heard this song, Barbie Stamp, and I told the person via text, I said, I didn't even want to listen to the song because a lot of people have sent me that sample for years, and I never like it. So the next day, I mustered up the courage to listen to the song, and then I loved the beat, and that sold me, and that's